Marieme, my friend Marieme, this year I Am the Code launched a podcast during COVID-19.
Mm-hmm.
How was it for you?
Oh, Milly, I am so honored to do the podcast. When we started the podcast, I had no idea how to do this. And, my friend Miwaza from Japan really jumped in, helped us to get the technical part. And, I was honored to have you on the podcast because, you did, I just feel you're such a resilient person. And so now we're doing season 3. It's called, rebuilding inclusion. With everything happened in the United States, I think the death of George Floyd really hurt me very much. So, because I've got a twin brother who lives in Germany, and I just was imagining him or my son being killed like that on the street. So I think the podcast has been a healing, really, to be honest. But also, I wanted to highlight good people. I had Amina Mohammed on the podcast who said to me, you're always trying to give people a voice, a visibility. I just thought that, there are so many people that touch me in my life, really, that I just wanted them to come to the podcast to share their stories. So all the girls across the world who don't have the opportunity can also listen to their stories. So it's been a blessing, really.
How is the response to it?
They're really reacting. I think the conversation is deep. They respond to it, I think, because I take personal care of it. I do an intro and an outro. The intro is me saying thank you to my guests. At the end, I cry all the time because after you gave us these amazing ideas, and I remember you saying something about with privilege come responsibility, and that was really touching, and I had that in my brain all the time to talk to my other friends. I said, she's right, absolutely.
Yeah, this idea of with privilege comes opportunity, and with opportunity comes responsibility.
Yeah,
It's a very powerful statement, and I read it in for the first time in a Noam Chomsky book.
yeah,
Stick with me because that's the thing, we have to keep that in mind.
mm.
Which brings me to another question. I heard that you're doing a resilience award in December. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yes, we are doing. It's You are the first person actually. I talked about this publicly because I think that you should definitely know. We wanted to do I am the Code Resilience Award because I felt for the last 9 months that there are people who really did amazing for I am the Code. When we started the COVID-19, we were so desperate to get soap for the girls. I didn't want them to get infected because I knew we just came back from the refugee camp. And then I also thought of our girls in favelas, and we wanted soap. Everybody needed masks, soap. And I went on LinkedIn. I asked my friends, can you help? Some people just jumped in. And I remember this woman jumped in. She mobilized everybody. Within 2 weeks, we got soap for Brazil, soap for Kenya, soap for Nepal. It was amazing that during this COVID-19, we had some amazing people who came to help us tell our stories. They stepped in to support us. They jumped in. They did everything they can. So I just thought that with that award, it's my way of saying thank you.
And now I want to change gears a little bit here because, well, I'm a very big fan of you writing a book. I think
Mhm. The book is
that,
coming up soon.
yes, your story is a very powerful story. It should be told to because it will inspire people all over the world. I'm sure of that. But if you don't mind, I would like to clean up now some misinformation about Lady Mariam's story.
Mhm, mhm.
Can we do that?
Absolutely, absolutely. And you are the only person I can trust to do that. There's so many misinformation out there, but I'm sure you can help me clarify.
Would you go more in details about your life story now? You have a better vocabulary and understanding the language better. Would you mind doing that?
Absolutely. When you come from a traumatized background, it doesn't matter where you come from being sexually violated to beaten up or whatever you've been through in your journey. You grow and you start to understand better how things work. Many years ago, I didn't really know how to tell my story better. it was very difficult for me to even comprehend who I was as a human being. I wanted people to understand that I just didn't wake up, just end up here. I had to learn to be me. I have to learn to understand why I'm from Senegal, why I was a Black woman living in the UK. And now I'm writing the book, which has been very painful. Writing the book now, explaining where I come from, where my mother come from, where my father come from, how did I end up in the UK? All of this is a big challenge.
Yeah, I can only imagine how difficult it must have been, and how difficult it is to relive some parts of your life, and also to find out parts of your life that you had no idea it had happened. So it takes courage. It takes courage to say, yeah, I'm gonna do this journey inside, right? I
Mm.
mean,
I wonder how come I didn't have a mental breakdown. I think about this. How come you didn't have a mental breakdown? How come you're not crazy with all of this stuff that you've been through? And I always think about this. Um, and I don't know how, but this is something I think about all the time. That's why I think about this with Kakuma girls, and I'm thinking how trauma, how do we deal with trauma, and how do we make sure that post COVID-19 we support people who have lost so much. So that's one of the things I'm trying to work on right now.
so let me ask you this, because we talked about your story, and I can remember parts of it very vividly
Mhm.
because it moved me. But I wanna ask you, under which circumstances did you leave France to the UK where you live now?
I really came to the UK around 18, 19, when I came here. I moved from France to the UK. And it was really to come and learn. I wanted to come and have a better life. It's been a challenging time moving from France to come to the UK. I was abused as a young girl, trafficked without my will to France. I didn't have to be in the UK at all. I didn't have to leave my country to be here. But I had to. The UK gave me a better life now. So that's why I'm here.
So I see you call yourself Lady Marieme. Congratulations. Is this an honor from Britain?
No, it's absolutely not an honor. I discover more about my father and my mother's family recently, as I was saying to you earlier. And as I write my book, I want to talk more about this on my journey. I'll talk about it on the book as well. My mother comes from a huge notable family. It's a notability, so they have a notability from Saint Louis of Senegal, and a lady, someone who comes from a noble family. So I'm very proud that I discovered who my father and my mother was, and my root in a very positive way. So that's why I'm called Lady Maria.
Oh, all right. All right. Thank you for explaining that to me.
No problem.
I've read reports that said that you had studied master in marketing and communications in Lyon, and then in Paris, in the US, and in Japan. That's not.
Yeah, that's a miscommunication. This is why you should not speak to journalists who don't know what they're talking about. No, that was a miscommunication. What I meant is I tried to study an MBA. I had a very bad divorce here in the UK. It was a violent relationship, and so I tried to study. I tried to educate myself and try to get by. So I spent a lot of time at my Guildford College. So where I live, there's a college. That's where I spent time learning. I completed some courses for English learning and writing. I wanted to get a career. So this has helped me with my British citizenship. But yeah, it was definitely miscommunication about me having an MBA. So when I came to the UK, I did a lot of housekeeping job, cleaning job, work in bars, in hotels. I didn't understand English very well. Things were not easy. When my English started getting better, I started to go and find like temping jobs where I could do some lead generation calling or worked for many companies, and I was a customer service officer for the bank. I worked for a bank called Lawyer CSB. I was a cashier when my English started getting better. Then I started working for consultancy company. My English started to get better. I started working for consultancy companies. I was a single mom, juggling after the divorce. My ex-husband left me here with my son. And so I had to raise him by myself, I had to look after him.
It's been a long journey, right? I mean,
Mm.
from where you are now, and that brings me to another question. Can you tell us what you do today for a living? What kind of work do you do? Because this is, I think everybody should know that there is a human being in this world doing what you're doing.
Today I spend my time coding, and I've rebranded my company. It's now called Accurate Solutions. I want to focus on cybersecurity, big data. So that's what I'm working on right now. What I do today is really to understand who I am and understand this whole story. How did I end up being me? And but to do that, I really need to understand where I come from. I had an identity crisis when I was in my 20s, and now I know really who I am, I think. And so it's very linked to my work. So I think the path I've taken to learn how to code and become a technologist and create I am the code has definitely helped me understand who I am. I couldn't have done what I'm doing right now without the right people, helping and supporting me and guiding me. I couldn't have done it, definitely.
Gonna be good for black girls, for white girls, for indigenous girls, for oriental girls. I mean, we all need to listen to stories like yours, because we need to believe we can make it and we can build together
Mm.
a world that is more just, that it's more feminine, a world where we are not abused, where we can understand love from our early age, where we can have opportunity. Everybody, it's the same opportunities, and then we can somehow try to be happy, because life is by itself very hard.
Mm.
Even when you get food, shelter, uh, love, life is hard. So what you're doing is giving people your story, and when you give people your story, you're giving them a lot.
The words will become data, you know whatever you say will become data. And sometimes when I hear the stuff that being told online on social media, I get very worried for our girls. This quote always remind me of my Angelou. That's it. The quote is, we will measure the power of words. I'm trying to teach the girls to own their stories and really to understand that we will measure the power of words tomorrow.
Well, I want to thank you for this interview. I want to thank you for talking to me, and I want to thank you for, being my friend, because it is important to me that to know you're there,
Yeah,
and you're
yeah, thank you for being here. I
picking
think.
up your pieces every day, and you're still going.
Thank you.
Thank you again. Always nice spending time with you. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Thank you. Bye bye.